Welcome back, my beautiful people. Thank you for staying tuned to Zashami's Kitchen. And this lovely day, I'm going to share with you an amazing and very simple and the best vanilla cake recipe, one that I've been using for a while. So let's get started. So we start by preparing our baking tins, and I use two 6-inch tins and two 8-inch tins. This cake will yield 1.5 kgs of vanilla cake. I used flour and margarine to line my baking tins. You can reduce or add the ingredients to make the cake size that you want. And then we start by weighing our ingredients. For this, I use the weighing scale. As you can see, others have been using maybe the cup measurements. For this one, I like being precise, and that's why I used the kitchen weighing scale. And since it's a 1.5 kgs, I use 600 grams of all-purpose flour. So here we are prepping our dry ingredients as usual. You always need to prepare your dry ingredients before anything, before you start like beating your eggs or creaming your margarine and sugar. So our 600 grams of all-purpose flour, you need to be precise. If it's 600, it's 600. And then we add our baking powder. Here we don't have a lot of dry ingredients, so for baking powder I did 3 teaspoons since it's 1.5. You mix that together to make sure that all is incorporated, like it's well mixed. And a pinch of salt. That's extra magic of a pinch of salt in our cakes. Set that aside as dry ingredients. Now we measure our creaming, like the butter, the margarine. Here I use the margarine. You can also substitute with the butter if you have butter. It makes your cake more richer. So 200 grams of margarine and 100 grams of vegetable oil or the cooking oil. 300 grams of sugar. Here you can minus or add, don't add a lot. You just reduce. If it's reducing, it's a third. With your cakes, you don't reduce more than a third of your sugar, because it messes up with your how the cake will rise. So for me, I did 300 grams. So the creaming method is the most important when you're doing a vanilla cake. If you're using the creaming method, it gives you a very fluffy, and it helps the cake to rise very well. It becomes soft and tender and very yummy. So you need to cream up to 10 minutes. You can do 5 if you're using the stand mixer. But if you're using the hand mixer, or you're using a Mwiko, it means you need to cream longer, even 20, even 30 minutes if you're using the Mwiko or the whisk. If you're using for me, if you're using the hand mixer, I did 10 minutes. You see, it turns pale. What you're looking for is a fluffy and a pale texture. So 10 minutes will do for you that. Now you start adding your eggs one at a time, beating that one at a time. This helps to reduce the egg smell, and also it helps to create more air into your cake, hence the rising of the cake. So you need to beat that one at a time. And you keep scooping like the ones that go on their side, because you want everything to mix well. So you keep scooping and removing the ones that go on the side, and then you beat that. For each egg you can beat 1 minute each, 1 minute each. So 3 minutes for the eggs. We add our vanilla essence. You can use the dark, which is called gold, or you can use a clear, but it's a vanilla cake, so you want something rich. You want a vanilla cake, a vanilla essence of the vanilla flavoring that is rich. So it's best advised to use the dark or the gold vanilla essence. That will give you a very nice scent, like a nice flavoring to your cake. So we are done with the beating. So what we do is now we want to add the dry ingredients, alternating with our milk, and we need to sieve. And this method we will fold in. So we need to sieve, which I said in my earlier videos. Sieving helps to create more air bubbles into your cake, so the cake rises. So here we have so many ways of helping our cake rise. That's why every step is very important. We don't need to skip any step while doing this. So we do a cup a milk. I did 1.5 cup of milk, but you don't add all in. You put the flour, you put the milk, you fold in gently, because remember we've created enough air in our cake. We don't want to break that air, so we fold in gently, just enough to remove all the pockets of flour in our mixture. Just enough. You don't over mix. When the flour is gone, you stop at that. You add your next. You can do 3 batches of flour, so you can add in 3 batches. So this is our second one, and then we'll add our third one after mixing, and you alternate that with the milk. So sieving also helps to remove any impurities that might be in the flour, in the salt, or in the baking powder. So sieving is very important. You don't want to skip that. The milk should be at room temperature, and all other ingredients, even the eggs. Then I showed you earlier what you do to make the eggs be at room temperature. You can watch my other videos. So our batter is ready, and we need to transfer in the baking tins that we had prepped earlier. So you pour butter into your baking tin, separating the baking tins. You can use one. For 1.5 you can use, like, say, a 2 kg tin, depending with the kind of height you want to achieve. But this helps my cake to cook evenly. They don't rise at the top, like they don't break a lot at the top, so meaning I don't need to cut a lot of cake when I'm shaving the cake. So I separate that because I wanted to make like a tiered cake. That's why I separated that into 4 tins, the 6-inch and the 2 8-inch. For the sprinkles, it's just an additional add because of the cake that I wanted to make, but you don't need to add the sprinkles. If you're just making a simple vanilla cake, you just don't need to add the sprinkles. But for this order, I needed to do the sprinkles on some of the cake. It's part of the cake, not all of it, but just because it was a kid's cake and they needed color, so that's why I added the sprinkles. These are totally optional. You can do that. Some people do the what bakers make, some others people do the raisins. So this is just to add that extra oomph to your cake. So you bake that at 180 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes, and there we have our cake. You let them cool before you remove them to your from your tin. So you can enjoy as they are, or you can decorate as desired. Kindly don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and thanks for watching.